Hi everybody! Hello, hello! Okay, so we're making a star coaster. I'll show you the one that I made earlier. This one's one of the smaller ones. This is what we're going to be making today. If you want to make the larger one, it would be about this much of a difference. So not by much, but this one I like to use for my water bottle, but this one I like to use for cups. Okay, to begin, for the large ones, you would want to use an 8mm crochet hook. For the smaller ones, it is a 6.5mm crochet hook. So that's the one I'll be using today. So I'm going to set this one off to the side. So just get in my way. You'll also need a stitch marker. I have the little fancy plastic one, but you could just use another piece of yarn of a contrasting color or something like that to keep track. I also have a little row counter. I just slide the little numbers. You don't have to have something like this. It's okay if you just have a small sheet of paper with like keeping track with tally marks. You're gonna need a needle to sew in the ends. I also have a tape measure. You don't really need the tape measure. I just wanted to show you guys the size of it at the end and then compare the different sizes between the two. And then I also have this. It's just a pliers. It's because my thumb is a little weak sometimes, so I need some help pulling the needle through to get it fully weaved in. So I just have this guy because work smarter, not harder. Oh, and then scissors to cut the yarn. I would like to say this is a beginner pattern. It can be intermediate if you don't know how to do a magic circle. Before I forget, I like to double strand this so it's a little bit thicker. So you just want 2 strands of any worsted weight yarn. What I do for a magic ring is I pinch it between my thumb and my middle finger. I wrap it around at like an angle, and then I wrap it back around to make an X. So it's 2 bars on this side, and then it's an X on this side. So then what you're going to do is you're going to stick your hook under the first bar and then pull the second bar through up onto your hook. And then you take your fingers out, and then as you can see, you have a circle here, a little tail. And again, once you're here, you're just going to yarn over and pull through to secure that, and then you're going to do 6 single crochet, which is yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through both loops. The second single crochet again, so you put your hook into the middle circle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that's your second single crochet. So then 3, 4, 5, and 6. So just a double count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then put the stitch marker in the last stitch that you make. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this little tail here and you're going to pull it through. And boom, this is technically row 1. So I'm going to move my stitch counter to 1, 6. So this is the first loop that we're going to work in the second row. So this is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your hook through all 4 loops. And then what I like to do is this end that's left over from the tail of the magic ring, I just work it along as I go. I just work over it so I don't have to weave it in at the end. So what we're going to do in this first stitch is called a single crochet increase, which means we're going to do 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and we're going to do an increase in every stitch around. So this first stitch, we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then you're going to go back into the same stitch again and do another single crochet. So that's 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So now we're going to do increases for the rest of the row. So then since you started with 6 single crochets, you'll have 12 by the end. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're now in the last stitch, so we're going to put it through, take the stitch marker out. So this is stitch number 11, and 12. So this is the last stitch of the row. So again, remember, put your stitch marker in the last stitch of the row. So that was row number 2. So switch your row counter to 2, or just mark down on your piece of paper. So for the next row, we're going to do 1 single crochet and then 1 increase, and then repeat that until you reach the stitch marker. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So you're going to do 1 single crochet and then 1 increase. So 1 and then 2, and then we're going to repeat that again. You're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then into the following stitch you're going to do an increase, which is 1 and 2 into the same stitch. We do that again, so another restart of the pattern. So 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 single crochets into the following stitch. I have to do 1 more single crochet in this, so 1 more. And then we're going to repeat it again. So single crochet into the next stitch, increase into the following stitch. 1 and 2. We're going to repeat that again. 1 single crochet, 1 increase. Oops. And then this will be the last time we're repeating this, because as you can see we have 2 stitches left until the stitch marker. So 1 single crochet into this stitch, and then 1 increase or 2 single crochet into the last stitch. So take out your stitch marker and you do 1, and then you do 2. And then what you're going to do is just put your stitch marker into the last stitch you made, and then that's row 3. So again, change your counter or add another tally to your piece of paper. So then for row number 4, we're going to do 2 single crochet, 1 increase, and then repeat all the way until we reach the stitch marker. So 1 single crochet into the next stitch, another single crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to do 1 increase. So 1 and 2. So then now you'll have 4 stitches total. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, increase. So we're on row 4. So again, it's 2 single crochet and then 1 increase. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then increase. So that's 1, 2, and then we just repeat that. And then here we are, 3 stitches away from the stitch marker. So it's gonna be 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 1 increase, and 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then I like to put my hook in first and then remove the stitch marker, that way I don't lose track. And then you're gonna put an increase, and then you're going to move the stitch marker to the last stitch that you made. And that's row 4. And then row 5 is going to be 3 single crochets, 1 increase, repeat. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1 increase. And boom, that's how you start that row. So again, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, and then increase. I will meet you guys at the end of the row. We're about to do the last repeat of the pattern, or the last repeat of the row. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, and then in the last stitch we're going to do an increase. So 1 and 2, and then move the stitch marker to the last stitch, and then move your row counter to 5. Okay, now for row 6 it's going to get a little interesting here. We're going to do a couple of different stitches, and what we're going to do is we're going to work up one side of the point, do a chain, and then mirror it down the other side of the point. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a single crochet into the first stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to do a half double crochet and then a double crochet. So a half double crochet is where you put you wind yarn around your hook once, you put your hook through the stitch, yarn over, and pull through, and that way you have 3 loops on your hook. So what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then you're going to repeat that same beginning process where you yarn over, put it through the same stitch, yarn over, pull through, and you have 3 loops. To do the double crochet, you're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops only, So then you have 2 loops left, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops again. So as you can see, it's starting to taper upwards towards the point of the star. So in the next stitch, we're going to do what's called a treble crochet, which you're going to just wrap your hook twice instead of once. You're going to put your hook through the stitch, you're going to yarn over and pull through, and then you're going to have 4 loops on your hook. So you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2. So then we have the one side of the point, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do another treble crochet into the same stitch that we just did the first one. So again, wrap your yarn around your hook twice, go through the stitch, yarn over, pull through, and you should have 4 loops on your hook. And you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through the last 2. And there's the start of the point. So then we're going to do, in the next stitch, we're going to mirror it. So instead of doing half double then double, we're going to do double then half double. So yarn over, put it through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops. And then we're going to do a half double, just yarn over, put it through the stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then to end it, we're going to do another single crochet into the next stitch. And there you go. You got 1 point of the star. But what we're going to do to reset the pattern is in this next stitch, we're going to do a slip stitch, which a slip stitch is you just put your hook through the stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then pull it through the loop. And then you can see it's nice and flat and flush to the stitch underneath it. So then we're going to repeat that pattern of single crochet in the next stitch, and then the next stitch a half double, and then a double in the same, and then a treble crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, and then treble crochet again. Then we're going to mirror it. We're going to do a double crochet, half double crochet, and then in the next stitch a single crochet. We're going to restart the pattern again, and we're going to do a single crochet into the next stitch, half double and double into the following stitch, the next stitch do a treble, chain, and treble, and then we're going to do another double, and then a half double, and then the next stitch we're going to do a single and a slip. So single, 1, half double, 1, double, 1, treble, 1, 2, 3, chain, and then another treble. Then in the next stitch we're going to do a double, half double into the same stitch as that double stitch, and then a single crochet, slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, treble, chain, and treble. Okay, and then in the next stitch, I'm gonna do the double, half double, and then single crochet. And then as you can see, we have 1 stitch left where the stitch marker is. You're just gonna slip stitch into that stitch, and then you're gonna cut your yarn to whatever length you feel comfortable. I leave usually like 2 to 3 inches of a tail. And then you're gonna, what I do is I just like pinch the stitch and then pull it through, just so this stitch doesn't get too tight when I'm doing this. But now to finish off the star coaster, we're gonna do what's called a invisible fasten off. Once you got your yarn into your needle, you're just gonna untwist that. Okay, so let me explain this. So you see how you slip stitched into this last stitch and it's like sitting over it? So this next stitch right here is gonna be what we're copying. So in the stitch next to the one that you're copying, you're gonna put the needle from the back to the front through the top 2 loops, like so, and that creates one side of the top of the stitch. And then in the last slip stitch you made, you're gonna go in between the 2 loops, and then you're gonna go out the back and just lightly pull it, and that way you can barely see where you fastened it off. And that's an invisible fasten off. So then the next step is basically just weaving in your end. Oh, yeah. Trusty tools. Okay. And as you just saw there, so if you pull it too tight, you'll actually create a little cinch. So try not to pull it tight like that. If you do, you can work it to the right tension again, but just try not to pull too hard on your first pass. I like to go 3 passes, so I go 1, 2, 3, and that really secures the end in there, so you don't have to worry about it unraveling in the future, or, you know, unraveling if you go to wash it. Okay, and then I just like to pull it a little bit just to make sure it's really in there, make sure it's not moving around. And if it does move around too much, I do just do 1 more pass through, but you're just gonna carefully snip your yarn. And then boom, would you look at that? You made yourself a star coaster. Wow. What I like to do is I just like put my fingers in each of the chains stitches at the tip of the points and stretch it out. And that way you get a more defined star shape. You can also block them if you want to. I'm just what you call lazy, so I don't do that. I just stretch them and then boom, it's done. But if you were going to block it, what you're going to do is you're just going to soak it in hot water, medium warm to hot water, don't burn yourself. Soak it in hot water and then pin it onto a blocking board, or you can roll it up in a towel, or you can use steam. But be careful if you're using steam because you don't want to hurt yourself. Alright, so here's the big star next to the smaller star. And from side point to side point on the smaller star, it's about 4.5 inches, where on the bigger star, it's 5.5, almost 6 inches. And then from top to bottom, it's 5 inches for the big one, and top to bottom, 4 inches for the smaller one.